Nice. Let's do it. Um, is this mic hooked up? Oh, volume. Uh, okay, that's better. How you doing? Good morning to you and yours. I hope you're having a great day in the morning already. That's the advice today with all your diagnoses is to be yourself. What do I mean by that? So, when like when someone tells you that your behavior is a certain way and it's not you, or your behavior, this is not yourself. Yes, it is. Who else are you going to be? Who else are you going to be? Um, you know, think about it when a child throws a temper tantrum. Why do children throw temper tantrums? First of all, number one, most likely they don't know the words. They don't know how to say the words. They don't understand the words to get to express themselves. So that's one reason why boys, especially, bite. They like to bite early because they're frustrated and they can't express verbally, so they bite and they're mad. They scream and throw fits. You ever see a little girl on the playground? Ah, she's got her hands out her side. Ah, it's like, yeah, okay. It's they are being themselves. That's all they know how to do. Now, as an adult, you get older, you get away from that, but we still have blow ups. We still have freakouts. We still have temper tantrums here and there. And in our minds, in our heads, in our lives, they're justified because what else are you going to do? Now, when they say be somebody else, you can't, number one, you can't be somebody else. You can only be yourself. And number two, um, why do you want to be someone else? Could you imagine if the whole world was a certain way? Imagine if the entire world had the same breakfast, the same lunch, and the same dinner every single day, every single time. Boring. Boring. That would be that would be no fun, right? Imagine if everybody ate oatmeal for breakfast, and you had a peanut butter jelly sandwich for your lunch, and you had steak and salad for dinner every day, every single day, for the rest of your life. The whole world. What's for breakfast? Oatmeal. What's for lunch? PB&J. And dinner? You got it. Steak and salad. And you only ate water. I drank water. There's a reason why we're unique and we're different and we're individuals and we're snowflakes. And one of those reasons is to learn for ourselves that our behavior is uh, unacceptable by some. Um, I do not like it when someone yells at me. I do not like it. Uh, Usually in the past, I would shut down. I was like, oh my gosh, this person's yelling. And I was like, I'm not listening. I'm turned off. It's done for. Um, I've lost respect for the person. I'm not going to do anything this person says or is asking me to do. Um, that was like in my 20s, a little bit of the 30s, and then now, maybe the past like 5 6 years, um, the easiest way to combat the yelling is to not yell yourself. I've learned that. So my youngest son, for example, he says what maybe may it's at least 100 times a day. I don't know. He's constantly saying what, you know. How was school? What? How was school? Oh, Da 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 da. How is for your kids? What? How is for your kids? Oh, da 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 da. Like everything. The first thing I say into a starting of a conversation or question is always what. And before I had him, this is 9 years ago now. Before I had him, if I had to repeat myself, I would just go straight top level volume, straight top level volume. But having him and raising him, helping raise him over the years now, you cannot yell at a child. I know this. You can't. You cannot yell at children. It's like very damaging. Um, so when he first started saying what, when he was like 3, 4, 5 years old, I would just repeat myself softly and slowly again and again and again. And it was funny sometimes. Now even today, sometimes I think it's a joke. He'll say it like 5 times in a row, and I'll look at him, stare at him like, and then he'll laugh, and then he'll answer the question. I go, okay, you know. So losing your cool is hard. It's a hard thing not to lose your cool when you're in situations that pester you. Um, but yelling, so raising him and realizing that, okay, I can't do that, it started transferring over into other aspects of my life. Now, when I yell, if I do yell, it's few and far between, and it's at somebody who knows me very well, most likely a doctor, because it's bullshit. What I'm about to bring up, and it it doesn't. It takes a strong person to listen to what you're saying when you're yelling, because maybe you're yelling something that is actually truthful, and might be a solution or a key into your personality that can help. And I remember I was at a family counseling meeting once when I was a teenager, and my dad lost his shit and was yelling up a storm. Me, my dad, my mother, my brother, my sister, and the counselor. And my dad stood up and was pacing the room and doing this with his finger and yelling and screaming. It was like, oh my gosh. I forget what he said, but I remember what the counselor did. The counselor listened to what he was saying. The counselor understood that my dad was very frustrated in the moment. My dad was talking about something, how he goes to see these mandatory counseling sessions and he has to pay for them, and they're court appointed, and they're for an hour, but it's only 45 minutes because the other 15 minutes, the um, psychotherapist has to put in, oh, I just talked to Ryan, and that's not my dad's name, but I just talked to da da da, and uh, I'm going to, prescribe this or do that, or I think this. Da, 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 da. So my dad was going off about how he's paying for 60 minutes and he's getting 45 minutes, and he shouldn't have to pay for the 15 minutes that the doctor works by himself, based on what was said for 45 minutes. I agree. Also, the whole bullshit of, if you're late, still got to pay for it. If they're late, still got to pay for it. You got to call in 24 hours in advance to not be there. You don't know 24 hours in the future. You don't know tomorrow. Them, oh, yeah, doctor couldn't make it. Forgot to tell you 24 hours ago because doctor just found out that doctor couldn't make it. So my dad was going off on all this bullshit and yelling. He was also going off on other stuff and how, you pay child support and you don't get to see your children as much as you do. Why do you have to pay more when you can't see them? It should make more sense that you pay more when you do see them, because when you do see them, they cost more, right? They cost more. Um, so yeah, my dad would yell, still yells. He still flies off the handle every once and then. But it's like, it's funny. For me, it's funny because now I'm an adult and I see him yelling. He's been yelling at me since I was a kid, but seeing him yell now as an adult, it's like, what, you're wasting your energy. You're wasting your breath. You really are. You really are. You attract more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. So if you yell, there's a difference between yelling fire and there's a difference between yelling, fuck you or something like that. It's There's a difference. So, um, what was I going to talk about? I told you I was going to talk about, right? Like, oh, I'm actually, it's funny because it might come across that I'm in a great mood and I'm uppity juppity, but actually I got all this stress going on and I need to get it together. And I am very pissed off. I'm very, very pissed off at the Swedish branches of local governmental insurance. Let's put it that way. They're all pointing the fingers at each other, and they're all saying you need to talk to these organizations to get what you need done to solve your issues by the end of the month. And no one wants to step up. Plus, it's summertime, so everyone's on vacation. So all the people I've been talking to are the secondhand people, the fill-in, the temps, the non-regulars, whatever. And that's tough too. It's like you got to start all over again. So just to be clearly clear, just to be 100%, I'll give you one scenario. So I'm calling up the unemployment agency here in Sweden, and you go online and you look for the phone number, and there's only one phone number. And it's a general phone number. There's other phone numbers there too, but they're not what I need. And it's you call this line if you are a newly unemployed. You call this line if you've been unemployed for a while. You call this line if you're looking for work and school. You call this line if you call these lines. So I'm looking for the general. So I call it the general employment line. And yesterday I was number one in line for 45 fucking minutes. That will piss you off. I'm trying to get a hold of one specific person there at the unemployment agency, and you can't get an email. There's no more emails on. Most likely, there's no more emails on any websites, any company, any organization. I challenge you. You got to complain. You want to file a complaint with your phone company? Good luck. Good luck. Go on that internet. Go on your phone. Go Tele2, 3, Telia. Look for the complaints. I got a complaint. I got a problem. Can I email you guys? And it's the same emails too. You email it and they go, we'll get back to you in 24 hours. And then someone will read it. I found the email to the unemployment agency, and the first word of the email says support. Support at da 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 unemployment agency. Great. That's what I need. I need support. I emailed them yesterday. Can you connect me with this person? The email message I got back was, you need to call the general line. But I just did that for 45 minutes waiting in line. There's nothing. Can you? So there was a name too at the bottom of the email. So I responded to that person. I says, hey, you fucking idiot. Can you please do your job? It says support at unemployment agency. I am asking for support and you're not giving me support. Do your job. Contact her. Tell her to call me. Give me her personal, not her personal, but her business email. That's what I need from you. That's what I need. I don't need to wait in line for 45 fucking minutes. I don't need to go 24 hours and you should go wait in that line for 45 minutes. Those type of things get you balled up and piss you off and want to yell. And that's where I'm at. But here's what I did this morning. I did about 50 minutes of yoga. And I had a great sleep. And this is what I really want to get to you is do what makes you happy and what makes you feel good first in the morning. If it's yoga, if it's working out, if it's a crossword, if it's reading a book, if it's scrolling, if that actually makes you happy, go for it. Whatever's making you put a smile on your face. Because every day, for the most part, it's not all doom and gloom, but there's people that have great jobs that are pissed off every day at the coworkers. I can't stand being there. And they wish they were somewhere else, but they can't quit because survival is money nowadays. So I don't know what to tell you. Just wake up, look at the sun if you can, take a breath of fresh air. I did some yoga, like I said. Just maybe you just stay quiet and sit up so you don't fall asleep again. Before you get into that nastiness, the internet's nasty too. I mean, I'd say stay off the internet, but then how would this work? So whatever. Yeah, life will do that too. I gotta send in some documents to one agency. I gotta ask another agency if it's okay that I talk to the other agency. The fourth agency is telling me that I can't go to school anymore because blah 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 blah. I'm not surprised. When you read about stuff in the world, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised at all, especially now that I've got another diagnosis. I have to email my doctor, and I'm going to beg her to give me an exemption to go to work. I can't. I have a slip disc. I have a rotator cuff injury, so I physically cannot lift anything. So what physical job out there can you do? What's a physical job? Mailman, grocery clerk, what do you call it? Shipping and receiving in the back with heavy boxes. Working in retail where you got to hang coats and sweaters and clothes and scarves. You listen. Here's my left arm, and here's my right arm. That's it. I got pain right there. There's pain right there. Can't even go all the way up. What am I gonna do? What can you do? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a challenge to swim. It is. My kids want to go to the pool the other day. We took them to the pool. I took them to the pool. We all went and had a good time. And he wants to go deep, and he's hanging on me, and I cannot. I couldn't swim with my right arm. It was a little bit of a struggle. The water was only like 180, 185, and I'm 193, but still, jumping up and down and splashing and stuff. It was pretty intense because I would push him off of me, and he's not that strong of a swimmer yet. He's only 9, and then he would kind of freak out, and as I come back, push and pull type of thing, just to get to the edge to hold up, stand up, and then let's go back to the shallow end, and then it gets crowded, and let's go back to the deep end and back and forth. But what can I do? I can't, what are there? VV plumbing out the door, electrician out the door, carpenter out the door, all the physical stuff. I can't use a jackhammer, right? I can't because it'll just vibrate this arm, and no. I need to get physically healed first. If you physically can't move, if you're in a wheelchair, what can you do? Can you deliver the mail? Can you deliver the newspapers? Can you stuff envelopes? I can stuff envelopes. Do we do that anymore? No, we don't. I can, what can you do? Can you be a barista? No, you can work the cash. You can sit in a spot for 8 hours a day and work the cash register. That's what you can do if you're in a wheelchair. So you need to physically heal yourself. I need to physically get healed. And then I can look for jobs, but I need to physically be healed before I actually really I can start now. Let's do this. I suppose I could be a driver, but then all the cargo in the back, well, I physically can't move that. So I need to email my psychiatrist this. I'm also going to say, plus you just gave me a new diagnosis, and who wants to hire somebody? Hi, I'm Ryan. I have a driver's license. I have 20 years experience. I'm bipolar, and I have a personality disorder with a narcissistic, egotistical, self-centered, psychobabble bullshit, megalomaniac. Would you like to hire me? No, there's a reason why when we go to our job interviews, we don't say the bullshit, right? It's the same thing as a first date. You don't sit there and go, yeah, I've got no woman in her right mind shows up at the first date and says, yeah, I got 5 babies with 5 baby daddies. But goodbye to number 6. Nope, no, doesn't happen. Right? You show up, you put on a face, you smile, right? You say the right things for as long as it takes. You're hired. We're fucking whatever it is, and then boom, you got it. So, um, yeah, I can't. I'm gonna show up at a job and be like, yeah, you can hire me, and then a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year into it, something's wrong about you. Something ain't right. You seem different. You seem off. What's going on? Oh yeah, I got bipolar and I got the personality disorder. Recklessness. That's the word it was. Recklessness. Recklessness. Yeah, I got the recklessness, bipolar, personality disorder, little bit of narcissism. Um, I should pin that. I want to talk about that. And so then, I mean, you gonna hire me? No, they are not going to hire you. They're not going to hire you. The fucking psychologist, she said, speaking of narcissists now, she said, um, if you look at your recent history, your divorce, and you got fired. Well, I actually didn't get fired. I signed an NDA, but I can't talk about it. Well, I already said fired. Fuck it. Um, so it's not that I got fired. It's that I challenged the boss, and he didn't like it. Right. In Corona times, just hopefully I can keep it short. There was this time in our specific office, and I worked for not a big company, but pretty big here in Sweden. Worked for one of those offices in the big company in Sweden, and the big headquarter office said during Corona, it is optional for you to get the shot, and it is optional for you to wear the mask. You don't have to do that if you want to stay employed. Go ahead, do you, whatever you want. It's your risk. It's your life. Stop me in crop, as we say here in Sweden. Stop my body, my choice. No shot, no mask, no thank you. Look at me, I'm still alive. Um, so he mandated the boss. He tried to mandate that we're going to wear masks now, and I said no. I said no. And the first day he said, no mask, then you don't work. I go home. I was like, fine. So I went home and then I called the union. That's right. I got to call the union again. Why pay for those if they're not going to work for you? You fucking morons. So then I said, they said, you need to go to work. And I says, well, he's saying I can't work because he's mandated this. There is no mandate. I don't have to do it. I'm challenging his stupidity on power. Long story short, I win. I win. I win. He wanted to write me up and suspend me. And actually, the head of a union at the time, I forget his name. If anybody didn't know that, I don't think I'd say it here. So you could Google that, head of the union in Sweden. He called me personally the next day and he says, you do not have to wear the mask. He's playing power and authority with you. Don't wear the mask. This is great. So I went in the office and says, hey, yo, listen up, fuck stick. That's the boss. I says, I don't got to wear a mask. And this guy says I don't have to. And he said, I don't know who that is. I go, well, his name's right there in your office on the top list. It says union leader. This guy, he just called me and said, I don't have to wear the mask. So then we went like another 2 or 3 days. And then the union came in the meeting with me and with Fuckstick. And he says, okay, well, we're going to do like this. We're going to take away the suspension. We're going to take away the write-up. And I'm just going to give you a warning. I go, for what? Well, you're not working as director. I go, yes, I am. I'm here every day. I'm clocking in. It's a semantic. It's a semantic thing. So he says, well, let's just have it as a warning. The union's here. The union agrees that a warning is fine because they talk to each other before they talk to you, before they talk to me. So they have this agreement before, and they want to see if I'm going to agree to that. If I say no, well, then they're going to leave. I'm going to leave the room, and they're going to talk against them more. That's how it works. So all meetings work, if you don't know by now. Like the judge and the lawyers. You think they're just going to do their thing when you're in court? No, they talk to each other before you show up. Anyway, there's another thought tangent there, and I'm not going to talk about that because it's here nor there. Let that go. Let that go. Right. So the I don't wear the mask. I'm not getting suspended, and I'm not getting written up. I'm having a warning. So I'm like, fine, fuck it, whatever. And the warning, I go, what was the warning for? Not wearing the mask? No, the warning is for being insubordinate. See, that's where they get you. You'll do one thing over and over and over again, and they'll tell you not to do it, and then you'll do it again, and they say, okay, now we're going to warn you or write you up, not for the thing that you're doing, for being insubordinate, which is an umbrella. It's an umbrella term. You're being insubordinate. This will come into play later. Of course, if you already know, that's why I got fired. Then I got fired. So anyway, I go back out on the floor. I'm working. 10 minutes later, we have a not the big company, Sweden, the building. We have a little building, our building. We have a little building meeting, a real quick one for 5 minutes. And what does the boss want to say? He wants to say that from this day forward, you don't have to wear the mask anymore, anybody. What is that? What a coincidence. The day I get a warning is the same day that nobody has to wear it anymore. Because what would that say to the other people and my coworkers that I'm fighting for everyone in a certain way, and myself mostly, that I don't have to wear the mask. I have good reasons too. I got open heart surgery, so I need all the oxygen I can get. The mask blocks oxygen, so I'm gonna, suffocate and possibly die. I even had my heart doctor send me a letter for this fucking thing. Anyway, and he's a great doctor. I can say his first name, Dr. Eric. So he says we don't have to wear the mask anymore. And everybody within seconds just, oh, I got a couple of looks. You know what those looks were? Those looks were, thank you, Ryan, for going to bat for us. That's what it was. That's what those looks were. So everybody takes their masks off. What do you know? So since then, and that was like 5-6 years ago, whatever it was now, there was a target on my back, right? Another thing I would do is I would clock out 3 minutes early. Why? Because the system allowed it. So the company allowed it. If the company didn't want you to clock out 3 minutes early, they wouldn't have it in the system that you clock out 3 minutes early. Plain and simple. That was another one that he wanted to write me up for, and I won that one because it's true. You can clock out 3 minutes early. The company said it, and then he went. It's so funny. He went on this big spiel about how if you clock out 3 minutes early every single day, that's 15 minutes a week. That's an hour a month. That's 12 hours a year. And I said, what about sick calls, family leaves, vacations? We're not doing it every day. Not every day are we all here. In fact, there was only one person I worked with there that was there every single day. And only was taking vacations when he was forced to take vacations. It's one of those people, eats the same thing every day, drinks the same amount of water, does the same workout, just a machine, Anyway, so I won that battle. There was a bunch of other things. I mean, I worked there for 10 years, and when he piled up his evidence, he had everything I did for 10 years. And had the HR chick who touched me. She touched me repeatedly during the meeting, and the company has a no touching policy, so she should be fired. But anyway, Yeah, she's touching me and like, like I don't mean like groping, but she'd place her hand on my thigh. She placed it on my thigh or my knee, and she'd be like, listen, you don't want to work for a company that doesn't want you to work for them, right? And I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, anyway, so the NDA is the amount of money that they gave me to not work for them, which was fine, whatever. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Life, for the most part, life is bullshit. It is. You're born, you live, you die. Right? Uh, the struggle is everything from when you're alive, so when you don't remember being in utero, until the day you die. You're dead. The easiest time in life will be when you die. You're dead. When it's gone, it's done. Everything else in there, I could have picked. I could have put on the mask. I could have uh, said yes, sir. I could have shut my mouth. I could have been a worker bee. I could have gone with the flow. I could have uh, stayed in line. I could have been with the coworkers. I could have said something like, that's all I get for my raise. Or I could have said, thank you for my raise, regardless what the raise was. But I didn't, because I am not another person. I am me. And just like I said 30 minutes ago, be yourself. Be yourself. And what helps you be yourself is starting out in the morning with truly being yourself. There's jobs here, they're called elderly care. I'd like to do that because it gives money, but I can't because, again, I'm physically broken. So I can't wipe an 80-year-old's asshole who shits themselves, because that's what they do when you're 80, and do it properly, do it thoroughly, do it with loving care. I think about my parents, they're 70. Eventually they'll be 80. Somebody's going to do it. I don't want to do it. Somebody's going to do it. Maybe I have to do it. When I really think about it, when you really, really think about it, because I have done that before in my 20s, that's a tough job, and you have to have a big heart to wipe a butthole. That's not your own. That's old, wrinkly. What if it's hairy too? All this stuff, just like, and it's shit. It's a bunch of shit coming out of it. And are they done? You wipe it, and then here comes some more. But it's a job, and you get money. And I think in this country, they pay pretty well for that job because it's a shit job. And no one wants to do it. In America, it's a little different. They give you a minimum wage, $7.50 an hour. No wonder why people are stealing in those industries and companies. And we'll take real good care of your grandma. Mm-hmm. Nice stamp collection you got there, Grandpa. What'd you say it was worth? $3 million? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gone. Yeah, it's tough, and it's you got to be yourself. That's how it is. At the end of the day, I could have stayed all the way till the full uh, second, the last second of work, and then clock out. Um, the laws here are weird in Sweden, so that's most likely why I did what I did, was because I was reading the laws and looking for loopholes. And here's a loophole. What's funny is the first time he ever brought me into the office, he says, "Hey, listen, I want to talk to you about something. It's no big deal." Or the 4 words he said, and he said that 11 times. I counted. I started counting after the third time he said it. Listen, this is no big deal. I just want to talk to you. Again, remember, it's no big deal. Why are you clocking out 3 minutes early? It's not a big deal. I just want to know why you're doing it. And I heard that, and the first thing I said was, if it's no big deal, why am I here in the office? So, yeah, I'm just babbling now, but it's like you got. It's weird. It's so difficult because you have two choices to make every single day, every single moment, every single decision, right? Um, do you buy the 4 hamburgers for $30, or do you buy the 8 hamburgers for $20, and you save, no, it wouldn't be $20. It'd be 30, 60 for $50, and you save 10. You save $10, so you'd be, yo, I'm saving $10. No, you're not saving $10. You're spending 50. If you spend 30, you spend 30. You don't save anything. You're not saving 20. You're not saving 30. Save 10. Where's that $10 to? No. So there's decisions you got to make, or do you not buy it at all? Not spend any money. Decisions you got to make. That's a weak decision. That's a weak example. I'm trying to say that you have. There's two. Not that you're going to do the bad thing or the good thing or the wrong thing or the right thing. That the overall community, collective consciousness behavior of what we as a society have deemed necessary to be fit and cohabitate collectively with these strangers that are here every single day that you see in your life when you're walking on the streets, when you're going to work, when you're on the train, the bus, the car, whatever. Is there a way to function properly where there'll be no disruptions from your end up to the world? And those are the two that I'm talking about. And one is being yourself, and one is they're both being yourself. It's both yourself. It's the pause of acknowledgement in the awareness of what is and is not accepted. Because in your mind, when you yell, well, you're accepting yourself to be a yeller. You're accepting yourself to lose your shit, to go off, to fly off a handle. You're accepting it. And in hindsight, which is always 2020, you then go, oh, I shouldn't have yelled at my son. I shouldn't have cussed at my spouse. I shouldn't have smacked my boss's face. I didn't do that, but I want to. I don't want to touch him. People do that though. People do. Fuck you. I don't. Then I'd have his DNA cooties all over me. Ugh, gross. So, I could have, like I said, put the mask on. I could have clocked out correctly. I was late 4 days in a row, and I didn't text the middleman, hey, I'm gonna be late, I'm gonna be late. It was like five, I think it was anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 minutes. I thought every time, I was like, I was so tired. I was just like, I was actually at a worse place in life then than I am now, believe it or not, with all this bullshit going on. Right? Because had I been the other side I'm trying to talk about, I would probably still have that job, and I'd still be there, and I'd still be doing the same thing every day with the rotator cuff, with the bad back, and being like, can you guys wait till I get this fixed? And no, we can't. You got to work. I mean, it's really, they really make you work. Work sucks because they make you, when you get hired, when you become a full-time employee, especially in this country, they make you fear not showing up, even though a doctor tells you it's okay to not show up. I remember I went and when I first had my bipolar, and they're like, oh, how long is the doctor giving you off for? I got like 2 months off to just be at home and just not a vacation. Remember, resting from sickness is not resting on vacation. Two different resting. One is resting to heal. One is resting, you're going to party. You're going on vacation, you're getting the all-inclusive, you're drinking, you're fucking, you're snorting, whatever. You're doing it, balls to the wall. That was not me. And the boss was saying like, well, you gotta come in sometime. It's like, no. So I had the doctor call him personally. And then it was like, oh, okay. God, because he's a nosy fuck. Some of them are nosy fuck. Let me tell you about this fucking guy. The first time anything happened, he said, so what did the doctor say? And I said, that's none of your business. It's between me and the doctor. Oh, but I need to know for no, you don't. No, you don't. You just need to know that the doctor said I'm on sick leave for 60 days. That's all you need to know. No, there's another thing that happened personally with a coworker outside of work, and he heard about it, and he brought me into the office. He wanted to talk all about all the juice. Tell me what happened with your bicycle. What happened? I was like, why are you talking about this? This is a private matter. Yes, it's a coincidence, and yes, it happened between two of your employees, but it happened outside of work on a private bike. Not a company bike, a private bike. So why well, how much was it? What do you want from you? How much did you owe you? Come on, tell me. Fuck off. Some people are like that. Some people are like that. Nosy nobodies or nosy Nancy's, whatever they're called. Anyway, I've been babbling too much. I gotta get going. It's already 9:34. This is also the part of the thing that I want to do. See, so it's like I like doing this. It's hard to say goodbye. But I have to say goodbye because I have fish to fry. It's like, it's pulling teeth to get a job. It's pulling teeth to get healed. And it's pulling teeth to live off the fat of the land. And when you're trying to get healed and you go and talk to them and they say, you got another diagnosis. Help you help me, So I went a little long. I hope you understand what I'm saying, trying to get at you. Like, why wait? Why wait? Right? I'll try to wrap this up for, let's say 45 minutes. Why wait? You wake up and the routine normally is you go to the bathroom, you scroll, you have something to eat, you get to work, you clock in, you work, you get with your coworkers that you hate, you have lunch with coworkers that you hate your fucking boss, your job's a nightmare, you finally get home where you want to go back where you came from, bed, scroll, screen, and I'm supposed to work out, but I'm too tired. I should eat right, but I'll take ice cream. Why wait? Why go through the hell to then get to the heaven at the end of the day, which is the last hour? Good, I can watch my Friends is on Thursday. It's 8:00 for a half hour. Why wait? Why wait? Wake up to Friends. Wake up to yoga, to workout, to stretching, to whatever. There's a comedy. A 20-minute comedy show, something like that. Get you laughing, get your endorphins up, dance, wake up and dance. I know some women that wake up and the first thing they do is they dance. So why wait for the reward? You already have the reward, life, yourself. Your job is not your reward. Okay? It'd be nice to fix that, wouldn't it? If there's no such thing as money, that there would be no job. Your job would then be more meaningful. If there's no such thing as money, there would be no dead-end jobs. Every job would have a purpose. I'm going to chop this tree down because I'm going to turn it into a canoe for people to transport up and down the river to do what they do up and down rivers. I forget what they do. Pick fruit or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, that's probably another bad example. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you conquer your demons and live life to the fullest. Right? Why wait for the cup of coffee?